What the? Breaking news update now. The conflict between Israel and Iran is intensifying. Iran struck back. Iran again rocked Israel in the 17th wave of attacks that occurred early this morning local time, continuing a series of intense ballistic attacks. Since the latest conflict broke out on June 13th, in this attack, Iran launched at least 25 medium-range ballistic missiles targeting a number of strategic targets in central and southern Israel, including the military area in the Negev and radar facilities around Be'er Sheva. The Israeli Defense Ministry confirmed that most of the missiles were successfully intercepted by a multi-layered defense system including Arrow 3, David's Sling, and Iron Dome. However, a number of missiles reportedly escaped and caused limited damage to military and civilian infrastructure. Although there have been no reports of casualties in this attack, this 17th wave is believed to be a direct response to previous Israeli airstrikes, which hit important locations in Kerman and Isfahan provinces that are said to be centers of Iranian missile development. Iranian military sources said the attack was part of the continuation of Operation Honest Promise 3, a major military operation launched by Iran after Israel's attack on the Natanz nuclear facility. In an official statement, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, stressed that this 17th wave was only a small part of its full capacity. As long as the Israeli aggression continues, we will continue our strategic punishment of the Zionist regime's military and security decision centers, the IRGC stressed. Meanwhile, a tense atmosphere enveloped central Israel. Warning sirens sounded for nearly an hour in Tel Aviv, Ashdod, and Briva, forcing thousands of residents to flee to underground shelters. The Israeli IDF is now on high alert and strengthening air defenses in the northern region in anticipation of possible additional attacks from Hezbollah in Lebanon. With this 17th wave, a total of more than 500 ballistic missiles have been launched by Iran towards Israeli territory in the past 7 days.
The conflict between Iran and Israel has escalated sharply over the past week. Following a series of intense Israeli airstrikes on Iranian nuclear and military infrastructure in mid-June, part of a covert campaign involving both Mossad drone sabotage and overt bombardment, Tehran has unleashed a formidable counterstrike. Reports confirmed that Iran fired 2 major barrages of ballistic missiles directly at Israel, targeting key sites including Ben Gurion Airport, military research facilities, and command centers. In one volley alone, some 27 missiles cut through Israeli airspace, with at least a dozen evading interception systems to strike urban areas near Tel Aviv and Haifa, resulting in structural damage and dozens of wounded civilians. In response, the U.S. launched Operation Midnight Hammer, a dramatic escalation in support of Israel's efforts while directly targeting Iran's nuclear program. At approximately 2:30 a.m., Tehran time on June 22nd, US B-2 Spirit bombers aided by submarine-launched Tomahawk cruise missiles dropped 14 30,000-pound GBU, 57 massive ordnance penetrator, bunker buster munitions on Iran's primary enrichment facilities at Fordo, Natanz. In Isfahan, this was the first operational deployment of the MOP in combat. Satellite imagery later confirmed deep craters and tunnel collapses at the heavily fortified Fordo site, buried under a mountain, tended to dismantle Iran's nuclear enrichment capability. U.S. and Israeli officials described the attacks as a spectacular military success and claimed they had obliterated Iran's nuclear enrichment infrastructure. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth emphasized the precision and overwhelming impact of the raids, though. Pentagon chiefs cautioned that a comprehensive damage assessment remains underway. Iran has vowed to retaliate. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi condemned the U.S. strikes as a criminal aggression that crossed a red line. And Tehran's parliament even considered closing the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Following the initial airstrikes, Iran launched yet another missile barrage toward Israel. With around 30 to 40 missiles fired, most were intercepted, at least 4 hit urban areas, causing casualties and prompting Israeli counterstrikes on western Iranian soil. This dramatic turn of events signals a dangerous escalation, with both air and missile warfare intensifying. Civilian populations at risk, and regional leaders urgently calling for restraint. Strategic choke points like the Strait of Hormuz are now at the center of the crisis, heightening global fears of an energy and security shock. While Israel and the U.S. frame their actions as targeted efforts to dismantle a nuclear threat, Iran views them as full-scale aggression, promising severe consequences if further provoked.